Before we talk about rounding up a number, let's talk about the zeros. Some of you heard me saying this, but this is just a review. What's this number? 2. What's this number? 2. How about this number? Also 2. How about this number? That's also 2. How about this number? That's also 2. All these numbers are 2. But you write down 2 and just put the 0 after the 2. Now we are looking at 20. That's a different number. But other than that, the red ones, all of them are 2. In other words, we really ignore the zeros in front of the number. It doesn't change the number. If you have 0 in front of 2, this is still 2. Or more zeros, this is still the number, whatever number you have here. But it works exactly the same way for the decimal zeros at the end as well. So you have 2.0 here. Ignore that. This is just 2. Or you have more zeros here. It is just 2. And if you have a decimal number such as 3.1 and 3.10 and 3.100 and 3.1000, ignore the zeros at the end. It's just like having a 0 in front of a number. We ignore it. We don't need it. All those numbers are actually the same numbers. These are all 3.1. Now, that's being said, let's start rounding up this ugly number. Why do we round up a number? We round up the numbers, because it's easy to read them when you round them up. And look at this ugly number. It's a very ugly number. And if someone tells me to round up this number to the nearest thousand, I said thousand. I didn't say thousandth with th. This is just like regular thousand. That means I'm gonna look at the numbers before the decimals. If I hear a number that has th at the end, like tenth or hundredth or thousandth, if it has th at the end, I'm gonna pay attention to the numbers after the decimals. But in the question we are working right now, I just need to round up this number to the nearest thousand. Which one is the thousandth number? I know after the decimal, this is the ones or regular numbers or whole number as it known. And then we have 10, 100, 1000. That's the one. And the next one is 10,000. But we don't have to deal with that right now. This is the one I'm going to focus on, and I'm going to look at the next number, which is 4, and decide whether to keep this as 28 or make it 29. And I'm looking at it, it's less than 5, so I'm not going to go up and make it 20. I'm going to keep it as 28. Now, here what is supposed to be happening. The rest of the numbers, every single one of them, supposed to be 0. That's the meaning of rounding up. Just make some numbers 0 to make it read easy. That's the meaning of rounding up. But remember what we talk about here. We don't want to see the numbers, the zeros at the end of the decimals. Just tell me this is 2. Don't tell me this is 2.0000. The value of the number is 2. Therefore, I'm going to ignore the decimal numbers and give you my answer as nearest rounding up to 1000. I'm going to say 28,000. And please hear what I'm saying. 28,000. So it's a 1000 number I just round up. So let's do one more example. How about this ugly number? Let's round this up to nearest 100. I don't see th here. It's just 100. So which digit we are talking about? I know we are not talking about that. That's the decimal hundredth. We are talking about regular hundred, which is this. Okay, let's write down my answer here. So that's the 100 number. Am I going to add one extra to that? Depending on the next number, which is less than 5? No. So my answer would be 415,000. I'm not going to add one extra, but the rest is supposed to be 0. And please don't ask me to put the decimal here and make the others. I'm just going to take shortcut, and I'm not going to put the decimal. I'm not going to write down the zeros. I'm just going to go all the way up to decimals. And now that's being done. Let's look at this one, and let's round this up to nearest 10. Let's round it up to nearest 10. 10, 10, 10. This is 10. Now pay a little bit attention to this. This is just a little bit slightly different example. Look at the next number. I see 5, so I know I'm going to give one extra. But when you give one extra to 9, it turns into 0. Or consider it 49. Give one extra, it turns into 50 actually. So when you give one extra to 9, it turns into 10, and that means you are also giving one extra to this. So let's round this up, keep everything the same, make this 5, put the 0 here, and write down the 0 there, and I am reaching the decimals. I'm going to stop. So I just round up to nearest 10, which is 415,500. It's a 100 number, but also it's a 10 number. It's a power of 10. Next example we have here. This is also slightly different example. Round this up to the nearest 100. So I know the digit we are supposed to focus on is on the left side of the decimal, and this is 1 and this is 10. I don't have the 100 number here, but remember, every numbers actually do have numbers in front of them. We just ignore. But this time I'm going to round up to the nearest 100. So that means I need the number here. So the 100 digit, I'm going to add the 0. If it was asking me to round it up to nearest 1000, then I'm going to need another 0. But in this case, I don't need another 0. I'm just going to round up to 100. So how the rounding up works? Look at the next number. In this case, it is 2, which is less than 5. So don't give one extra to the 100 number you focus on, which is 0. Keep it as 0. And the rest is supposed to be 0. But just remember, and that's the decimal, I'm going to stop. Just remember that I have to delete the zeros in front of the number. I'm going to end up having just 1 0. So when you round up 25.387 to the nearest 100, it's supposed to be 0. It really makes sense. Why? Here is 0. Well, actually, I can go back. Here is minus 100. And here is 0. And here is 100. And here is 200. So those are all power of 100, right? And where is 25 point something? Where is 25 point something located? Exactly in the middle. Where is the 50? And between 0 and 50 is 25, and 25 point something is approximately somewhere here. So which number, which 100 number is this closer to? Is this, the spot is closer to that or to this? Of course it's closer to 0. That's why when you want to round up a number that's 25 point something, you're going to round up and having 0. Now, we have very slightly different example here. Let's round this up to nearest 10. 10, 10. So it's not 10th, not th, 10. And just like previous example, I don't have the 10th digit here. So I'm going to add the 0. And now, Let's round up to nearest 10. So this is the digit I'm supposed to be focused on. Let's look at the following number, which is 7 more than 5. So I'm going to give 1 extra. I'm going to give 1 extra and write down 1. And the rest is supposed to be 0. I'll just go there and round up 7.87 to nearest 10. I'm going to end up having 10. So you either go up, you either go down. Sometimes the digits are given, sometimes it's not. But this is how rounding up works. Let's practice, make some mistakes. That's how we learn. See you around.